Hello, everybody, to the 2022-23 semifinals tournament between Knabbmaster and Pjotri. I am going to be commentating this game. I'm Koshade. Um, this match should be a good one. Knabbmaster reigning champion. So many games we've casted from Knabbmaster. And Pjotri, of course, been playing a very long time, been loving his plays, made it to the semifinals. Very excited to see what kind of plays he can bring up. I don't recall a lot of his games that I've done in the past, but that being said, I have seen some of the games this tournament, and they have been impressive. And it looks like in the top left, we are going to be having Pjotri playing the Paladin. Lovely, lovely. In the bottom right here, we're going to be seeing... oh, I'm sorry. The blue is actually going to be Knabbmaster here. I got a little fooled because of the way that it was purple here. But it's actually Pjotri that's purple. So Knabbmaster playing the Paladin in the top left. And in the bottom right here, with the purple action markers, we're going to be seeing the Sistarra wizard, one of the new wizards coming out. And yeah, let's just have a look here. And it is going to start out with, it looks like Pjotri's initiative here. Let's see who chose that. Looks like Pjotri won the initiative, so is choosing to go first. That is always an interesting call if you want to go first or second. Mainly because sometimes turn 2, you want to be able to go first because you might suspect they're doing some sort of aggressive tactic. That being said, Paladin, generally known as a mid-game timing push kind of thing. Knabbmaster playing it, who knows exactly what we'll see. But it is kind of curious to see what we'll see out of Knabbmaster here. Notably in this tournament from previous tournaments, the Paladin does not have Holy level 3. And that does affect some spells. Most of them that don't necessarily matter that much. But the big one, of course, being the Temple. The big long gameplay here. And looks like Pjotri's going to start us out with just casting a gate turn 1. This is pretty typical, probably why he took initiative turn 1. Because he wants to get that extra mana from his opponent. Casting spells. And notice there are 3 cards that are planned. That is one of the advantages of the Sistarra wizard. Just gaining an additional card to plan. Immediately, Pjotri is going to be enchanting himself with a enchantment. Very interesting to see an early enchantment. Usually you see more economy. And if this is a harmonize, I'll be a little surprised. But just because harmonize is a little expensive, and especially when you want to get mana in this gate, you typically see Mana Shard or Harmonize on the gate or just another Mana Crystal. Knabbmaster is going to be moving to the right one. A telltale sign that you're going to be a little bit aggressive. Again, that mid-game timing push that I was talking about. Wants to be hitting a few turns earlier than what you typically expect out of mages. Casting a Battle Forge in an aggressive center spot. And then a Mana Crystal to back it up just to get that little extra channeling. This is one of those, okay, you have a gate out. I need to get aggressive here. Because if you start casting Gorgon Archers and things like that out of that, and I'm all the way back here with like a Battle Forge Crystal, it's going to be just hard for me to advance. So seeing him move forward one, I wouldn't be surprised to see a creature come out this turn or next turn. Probably some minor equipment out of here. We could see something like... I suppose we could see like a breastplate, but I doubt that. It's a little bit mana intensive, and I don't think it's something Knabbmaster would do just yet. And I'm guessing we're just going to see leather. It's possible we see some sort of economy card here. Out of Pjotri, the gate is kind of one of the big question marks here. You know, are we going to see gremlins because he's going to be feeling pressure probably in 2 or 3 turns? My guess is 2 turns. But, you know, you could also say, well, let me get a Gorgon Archer and just kind of have no mana left over to kind of do anything else, just because I want it ready the next turn. Some interesting sort of pressure that this aggressive Battle Forge is kind of playing, where it's saying, okay, you got to use your mana effectively here, because the game's going to be on. These guys are planning really fast. I'm not even going anywhere ×2 or anything. And again, we're seeing the Enchanter's Ring, very common to see, very nice to see here out of the Paladin here. Again, this is that mana plate. Cheap. He's looking to enchant things. What a surprise. I mean, Bear Strength, Rhino Hide, pretty typical to see. We'll see probably Eye for an Eye, stuff like that. All that is very useful. I don't typically see curses, maybe a rust out of the Paladin, but he doesn't need the Enchanter's Ring besides that for that sort of thing. Aaron immediately getting summoned. Both players, by the way, passing on their quick cast. Nothing being summoned out of this gate. And it looks like Pjotri going to choose to cast an Arcane Ring. Looking to get more meta magic mana type spells. Interesting. Aaron getting cast out of Knabbmaster, immediately get enchanted. My guess is it's going to be a either lifelink, which is my preferred thing, with Aaron, or we could see just a regrowth. That's pretty normal to see out of Aaron, because he has 2 armor, 15 life. Regrowth tends to have value in that effect. And there it is, the mana shard. It is that mana subtype, so the Arcane Ring is going to be doing a discount there. Notice how these players are playing very fast here. I'm at normal speed. These guys really know their openings, and I'm actually really impressed by how fast they're moving in this game. 2 champions in the contending right here, and of course our reigning champion Knabbmaster. Love the mana shard play. That's going to just add another mana every round of this. So it means if his opponent just casts 1 spell because they're melee attacking your face in, it does sort of add up in that way. Knabbmaster is going to reveal that regrowth we talked about. Very normal here to see out of Aaron. This is a pretty typical Paladin play, and I do love seeing this. Enchanter's Ring is slightly out there, but it's cheaper for his economy. And for a timing push where you want to hit a little bit faster, you do want to save some mana that way. So that regrowth is going to bring Aaron down to 5 damage. That is within Martyr's restoration range, so we could see something like that if he needs to get it up right now. My guess is he'll let it go another round, maybe cast a Hand of Imshala. He'll get a regrowth next round, heal it with Hand, and then that regrowth the next round will fully heal it. But we'll have to wait and see. And let's talk really quick about the Sistarra Wizard. We have seen her in different forms in other tournaments. This is a playtesting type mage, and pretty typically we see some mages change abilities like that. And this one has gone through similar things like that. Seer being the most notable change. Actually, Voltaic Reach too. But being able to prep 3 cards, a lot of people say it's underpowered. Some people say it's overpowered. Some people say it's just fine. Whether or not that's worth something like a melee one or having more life or something like that is debatable. But the fact is, having 3 cards prepped, I think the better player you are, the more this tends to be useful. Honestly, it's useful to everyone, but it's a very cool ability to see in this match. We'll have to wait and see if it really does matter. Probably when that Paladin timing hit is put forward. Voltaic Reach. So this is a newer ability that we introduced some time ago. It is thoroughly tested, but basically the quick air attack spells, they can increase the maximum targeting range by 1 by paying the level. So you could have like level 3, lightning bolts, level 3, range 3 lightning bolts. You could have range 2, zaps, things like that. Very cool. And we're going to see that Gorgon Archer come out. This is pretty normal. He's plenty of zones away, so he's going to have to get aggressive here. Being that 2 zone away, this is now a blocked off sort of corner zone here, where it's you're going to get shot if you go in here, and it's a little scary to walk into. Paladins do kind of specialize at that, but still, you do have to take those risks. So interesting, he's only going to move Aaron 1 and guard here, because this thing is not actually ready to shoot yet. Maybe taking that chance of saying, I don't want you to actually, with your extra card planned, be able to actually do anything with some sort of, rouse the beast sort of play. By the way, leather helmet coming out, and I know I made the screen larger. I hope that helps you. Leather helmet coming out for the Paladin, again, out of this Battleforge. Very minor, smaller spells, because he wants to cast those bigger spells for when he gets in the action. We'll probably see the Radiant Breastplate come out as he gets into action, because he's going to want those guards, things like that. And if we do see an enchantment come down from the Wizard onto Aaron, that could actually be something like a Poison Blood. It would be interesting to see what that ends up being. Knabbmaster's going to enchant his Paladin, but of course I moused over it like a fool, so now we all know what it is. My bad, I'm going to try to refrain from doing that. And the Ballista goes down. Just like Gorgon Archer kind of makes that aggressive style, this is a really good way for a Paladin to advance forward. And that is you place this Ballista, so your opponent has to attack this while your troops move in. It's a really good sort of just cover wall in that sort of weird way. And of course, if they don't bring it down, which it tends to take, 2 level 2 attack spells or 1 level 2, 1 level 1 attack spells, something like that, you just get free shots off it. It's kind of crazy. Looks like Pjotri's going to cast a Mana Crystal. Again, that Arcane Ring now being even. So if you cast one more Meta Magic or Mana Spell, then we will see it start to benefit. And we are going to see an Essence Drain get revealed. Interesting. Is this once per round? Once per round. So he shouldn't have gotten the discount. With discount from Ring wasn't auto. Okay, yeah, let's see. Did he actually cast that Mana Crystal at 1 cheaper? It's just... yeah, he used it for here for the 4, so he did actually make a little bit of a mistake here. Because he shouldn't have gotten that discount for this, but that's okay. They played it through, and I assume that it's all fine. I don't actually know who wins this game. I haven't actually seen this game or know the results. So I'm inclined to say that Knabbmaster is going to, but that's going to be the caster's call here, just because I've seen Knabbmaster play before. We'll have to wait and see. Prove me wrong. The game's already over, so whatever. So let's talk about this display really quick. Notice how we are done with the instant plan cards here. Might have to start speeding up. And the reason why is because this is their opening. If you notice here, Enchantress Ring, Mana Crystal, Battleforge. Very solid opening with the Aaron and the Regrowth. And the Leather probably was planned as well. It probably was flexible because he had all that mana. Very, very solid opening here. And I noticed over here with the Gate, had that Gorgon, probably had other cards just in case. Those contingencies probably all played a certain part. And the reason why we're taking time right now is because of this Ballista. Pjotri being at 12 mana. This crystal is going to take its time to sort of pay back. Same thing with the Mana Shard. I do want to point out this Essence Drain having that upkeep too. It might matter. I'm not sure. They're probably going to start engaging, and this will start mattering when it gets really rough for Knabbmaster. And I'm curious to see how Pjotri is going to survive about 3 or 4 rounds before his economy starts sort of gaining that advantage over Nab. And so I kind of, when I say a timing push, he's going to try to hit before all of this starts benefiting Pjotri. All of the Mana Crystal, the Gate, the Mana Shard. He needs to hit and hit hard before those things start benefiting him. And that's what we're going to see in the next 2 turns. So pretty excited to see that. If it does keep going, we're going to see Pjotri probably slowly gain an edge. So the big job of Knabbmaster is to control the battlefield, try to kill off these creatures, or kill off the things that are free summons, things like that. And, with the Ballista, I think Knabbmaster has a pretty good chance. Knabbmaster played this well. He played Ballista on Pjotri's initiative. So that means he is going to be able to shoot first with this. And it means Pjotri has basically one chance to have a surprise fireball to see if it'll actually kill this thing. Fireball's questionable against this. And, whether or not Pjotri even has a fireball in his hand or his book is a question as well. He does have an enchantment. I'm guessing this could be a nullify for the meta magic bonus. But it could just be a Hawkeye. Him advancing 1 speaks to me it's not a Hawkeye. But then again, against a Paladin, what do you really expect them to enchant you with? Like I was saying earlier, like Rust, I guess. That would be a good choice. Knowing Knabbmaster, he's probably going to try to Wall of Thorns cheese you. Not a knock on Nab. Everyone's been doing it lately. We see, okay, so we're going to go into round 4. Deployment phase, Leather Boots comes out for the Paladin. Putting that Paladin up to 2 armor. Out of Pjotri, we're going to see a blue gremlin come out. One of the best level 2 creatures in this game. He's a little champ. And his eyes are so scary to look at. Knabbmaster's going to pass on his initiative. He's waiting to shoot this Ballista. There's really nothing you want to cast right now, because having your quick cast open lets you be more flexible. Like, we could see the Paladin move one, cast a spell, then cast his quick cast, then do his ballista, and probably take out something or at least weaken its effects. All right, we're going to see a pass out of Pjotri. Ballista is going to take that 5-die roll. This should actually kill Mana Crystal, about. 1 armor, 5 life versus a 3 piercing, 5-die attack. First roll of the game. Here we go. And a whiff out of that ballista. Rolling 5 dice, getting 2 damage, expecting about 5. A little unfortunate there. And immediately, Knabbmaster is going to say, okay, I'm going to cast a Knight of Westlock. Knight of Westlocks are very hardy creatures. Anything with defense and armor or Aegis is a pretty insane combo. If you have 2 of those, you have a very solid defensive combo going on. Regen splashed in there, of course. Disperse, a meta magic spell getting cast on that regrowth. So he gets a little bit of a discount just because of that arcane ring. And that's going to mean Aaron is not going to regenerate anymore. He's at 3, and that's interesting that we didn't see a Hand of Bim like I predicted, because that means another regrowth wouldn't instantly cure him during the upkeep phase. But he is within a Martyr's range. Oh, wow, excuse me. I'm going to drink this tea here. But he is within a Martyr's range, so Aaron could theoretically just heal at any point in time. Just with a quick cast from his Paladin. Or Cassiel if you want to go old school. And it looks like nobody does want to advance. We see the Gorgon Archer probably going to shoot this ballista. I'm going to go ahead and make this 1.5 times. Looks like Pjotri's trying to figure out. Yeah, he's going to enchant the Paladin Mage with something. And then we're going to just see a shot at this ballista. Shouldn't do too much damage, because it has 2 armor, 4 die, no piercing. Probably about 2 damage. Let's see. It does 0 damage. Very low rolling game here. I would say that the longer it takes to kill this Battleforge, the worse it's going to be. And that is going to be a kind of thorn that Pjotri's going to have to work with. And it looks like we're going to see a Magebane get revealed. I'm going to try not to card over. Magebane gets revealed, dealing 1 damage to Knabbmaster. And Knabbmaster took that 1 damage because he enchanted himself with something. Again, we're on that friendly creatures once per round. Gets a discount. Notice it's been out for 3 rounds, and we've got 3 enchantments down. Well, I guess one of them got destroyed. So, you know what? Ignore that. That's a really dumb comment for me. Casting live. Oh, yeah. Knabbmaster is going to pay that 2 upkeep. So that means that so far Pjotri's paid 5 for this total. And Knabbmaster's paid 4 for this upkeep. So next round it's gonna really start adding up. And I'm guessing we're gonna see either both of these guys run, or we're gonna see like a force push or a teleport from the Paladin to get this Gorgon Archer probably in this zone. If he chooses like a force push, he'll probably choose the wizard here. Just go here. Although I think going after this Gorgon Archer is pretty much where the game is being focused on right now. Getting weaks on these guys, I guess it may not be that big of a deal because Purify is in school for the Paladin. But, you really don't want to risk those actions if you don't have to. And both these players are taking their time to sort of plan here. Again, we're in this engagement phase. Where we're at turn 5. There wasn't the expected rolls out of either side here. We didn't see this ballista take any damage. And the fact that this Mana Shard just kind of evened it out means both players just kind of is still playing this, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do game? And the fact that we're on Pjotri's initiative here, makes me think that this is a better time for Knabbmaster to move in. Because while this was initially that you can move in when you cast a ballista because it takes some hits, it eventually becomes a okay, well, it's just going to deal damage while your other creatures um, just sort of wreak havoc. Knight of West, like I was talking about why it's good. The 5-die attack, just straight, is insanely good for 13 mana. Not to mention the 8-up defense is, of course, just solid when you're dealing with low level or low amounts of creatures that deal high damage. So attacking the Knight of Westlock with Gorgon Archer is a little risky because you might just be wasting your whole action here. Okay, we're gonna go into deployment here. Looks like blue gremlin coming out for Pjotri. Again, solid creatures. These guys are just such annoying little pests. And out of the Battleforge for Knabbmaster's Paladin, we're gonna see the Gauntlets of Strength, melee +1. I mean, it's a Paladin. If it were any other mage, you'd go, oh, he's going melee. But it's kind of expected you go melee. Just because things like, I mean, any sword he can take is good. And just challenge, of course, the more melee you can get, the better he is. That's basically how Paladin functions in a lot of games. Knight of Westlock, moving forward and going to guard. Not going to see this run. Notice he moves with a knight first. He wants that Gorgon to shoot because he wants the opportunity to use a defense. It's such a big advantage for him to do this. And we're gonna see the Gorgon take the bait here from Pjotri. Let's see that defense. The defense does fail. Now that's okay. That's not necessarily that big of a deal. Knight of Westlock does take some damage, 2 damage, which isn't that bad against a 4-die attack. It's a little bit more than you want to take, and he does get 1 week. But I don't think that's necessarily the biggest problem. He really didn't want Aaron, in my opinion, to take more damage. And notice that 2 damage, he was at 3. And by the way, we're going to see a Martyr's Restoration. Let's go ahead and open that up. Martyr's Restoration got cast from that Paladin. Fully healing up Aaron, getting up to that 5-die. Now, notice he took 2. It would have been up to 5. If he would have risked Aaron first and took 3 damage or something like that, Martyr's wouldn't have instantly killed it. And that melee is such a huge deal, and that's definitely why we saw it advance. Looks like Wizard's going to cast Leather Boots, just getting 1 armor. This is a really safe play against Wall of Thorns. It's just something you want to do. And also, Pjotri is going to cast Seeking Dispel. Again, another meta magic play, playing into that Arcane Ruin. Paying 1 mana. Getting rid of a Wolf Fury. Great pick here. Hold up. I'm going to just slow down a little bit. Wolf Fury would be a great pick here, being a level 1 spell. Out of school for the Paladin. You basically, the Wizard paid 1 spellbook point, while the Paladin paid 2. So, and of course, paid 2 mana versus the 1 from the Wizard. That's a sort of gap he's also making bigger with this Arcane Duel. Love this play a lot. And we're going to see, oh my god, there's so much going on. Let me just pause it here really quick to cover this all. And Knabbmaster's thing going to do that teleport play. Remember how I said the teleport into this zone? Paying the teleport a little bit later than I actually expected, but still fine. Paying that teleport 6 mana to bring that Gorgon Archer in this zone, the Ballista zone, and then that Aaron that just got buffed is going to attack. Rolling 6 damage. Big deal here. That's really nice. Almost half damage. 6 damage on 5 dice, by the way, with 1 armor is really good here. That's going to be the end of the round. This gremlin sort of advanced a little bit. Not a lot. Notice he's in position now to go in. This blue gremlin can get fast. I'm guessing we're going to see him pay 1 mana out of his 17 here. Just to move fast and get into the fray here. Gorgon Archer does get challenged from the Paladin. We are going to see this guy regen up to 4 damage, but 1 armor against 4 dice, 5 dice, and this is a 4-die Paladin. I'm guessing we're going to see that reveal of the bear strength going up to 6. I'm sorry if I put my cursor over it, but I'm going to just cast knowing that knowledge now. Going up to 6 with regen, or I'm sorry, not regen, with Chivalrous Challenge, generally that means that you're going to probably do 6 damage, probably more, and that's going to put him, let's just say theoretically, 9 to 11 damage. These other 2 creatures are going to finish it off pretty fast. And of course, this Gorgon Archer can't actually shoot back because it's range 1 to 2. So also kind of a big deal here. I'm guessing we're going to see that Ballista shoot a Mana Shard. Might shoot the Crystal, probably not. And yeah, that's what we're going to see here. So let's talk about Pjotri here really quick. I do want to point out that Knight of Westlock is Lightning +2. That is actually a very interesting thing to go over because we have a Lightning Mage, an Air Mage, that has an unavoidable, you know, what is it? It's 3 die range 1 attack. He could extend that range with the Voltaic Reach, but I mean, it going up to 5 dice, he might have a Hawkeye here. I mean, he might have Lightning Ring, but it's probably too late to cast that now. But I mean, the big thing is he gets a, I think it's an 8-up stun then. It could be 7 or 8. I forget off the top of my head. But, you know, if he gets the stun on the Knight of Westlock, that's a lot of dice down for a relatively low mana cost. That would be one of the things I'm thinking if I were the Wizard. We saw an Eagle Wings in a certain championship game that was played in real life. On a Gorgon Archer, that would actually be an interesting play here, just because all these guys are melee. Of course, the Ballista could hit it, but it's gonna have to shoot up to do that, which isn't necessarily that big of a deal. Gorgon Archer probably survives. I could also see the Paladin taking Luminous Blast. That would be interesting. In a lot of ways, you might just see a lesser teleport, bring him here, just so he can shoot one before he dies, shoot one shot. That's probably the cheapest option to get your value out of this guy. I don't know. It's a little tough to think about. My guess is we're going to see another gremlin come out of this guy. And we could see a weapon come out of Battleforge. Knabbmaster only 12 mana. Possible we'll see armor, but I doubt it. His mage isn't really the conflict here. Just attacking the mage full on is probably going to lose you the game as the wizard right now. He needs to deal with these creatures. The weaks were a good option. And let's see if he just continues with that or not. Yeah, notice that 1 armor. Definitely is just a safety against Wall of Thorns. And you kind of have to do that, honestly. Wall of Thorns is just it's just such a prevalent play that you'll be like, oh, I forgot an armor, or I just lose. Because you Wall of Thorns me. You know, that's pretty much how that works. All right, going on to deployment, it is Knabbmaster's turn. Round 6 here. See if a Battleforge gets casted. Maybe. Maybe. And we're going to see... Yeah. Okay, very cool here. Tempered Folds. This is that... I want armor. I want it to be cheap. But you know what? I might as well just get a little effect out of it. Very strong pans. And a second Gorgon Archer on a Pjotri. Very cool play here. First quick cast looks like Knabbmaster's going to immediately reveal a Bear Strength. He's going to cast a Flying Sidekick. That is going to get 4 rerolls, it looks like. 6 die getting rolled. 2 damage. And it looks like 3 damage total. Reroll 4 blanks. That's going to be an additional 5 damage. Oh my goodness. This Flying Sidekick paying 3 mana during the quick. So powerful here. But the Gorgon isn't dead. It's at 12 out of 13. Almost there. And let's just see what happens next. It is going to be Knabbmaster's initiative again during the main action. So we'll see. It looks like Pjotri's going to pass his quick. Will he choose to Paladin hit him? Or is this a job for Aaron, the endearing Paladin? Here we go. 5 dice getting rolled on. He's 1 damage. He gets it. Very expected here. And that Gorgon is just gonna die. Really showing off a strength of the Flying Sidekick there with the challenge. And of course, it is all in school because Paladin is War 1, or War 2, I should say. But, you know, it's a War 1 spell. And, you know, a lot of players, when it comes to Flying Sidekick, they want to really go over the key, and they really want to, like, try and make that work. But, you know, you really don't need the key. Honestly. Yeah. Let's get this a little bit more. You really don't need the key with this, honestly. That additional 2 is very good, but it's so much investment. Just get the challenge reroll. I really like how Knabbmaster played that. Really well done. Looks like Knabbmaster is going to cast a Disperse. Again, a meta magic spell, getting that Arcane Ring bonus to get rid of that Bear Strength. I like this play a lot. A lot of players cast Armor in order to block damage coming in. If you don't have actually the dice to keep up, such as a Bear Strength, it actually is really good for just making sure you survive. Looks like this Knight of Westlock going to move in. Tries to attack the blue gremlin. The blue gremlin fails to defend itself. It's then going to roll 0 damage and 4 dice. And the gremlin's going to attack back because it has a counter strike. And the Knight of Westlock also fails to defend itself, getting 1 damage from that blue gremlin. A nice little exchange here. Kind of feeling each other's power levels here. From a Knight of Westlock to a blue gremlin. And then the blue gremlin's going to attack this guy. He has his defenses down, so now is the best time. Rolling 3 dice, piercing 1 against 3 armor. 4 damage getting rolled, 2 damage going through. Putting this Knight of Westlock up to 5 damage. Because he got shot, and then he had 2 gremlin claws. Looks like a ballista's going to then go after this blue gremlin. Makes sense because his defenses are down now. Rolling 5 dice, getting 6 damage. Pretty damn good. Not killing this blue gremlin, but then the Paladin's going to finish him off here. We have a dead gremlin. It took a hit from Knight, hit from Ballista, hit from Paladin. Dealt a little bit of damage. All around, I'd say a pretty typical when you're versing higher level creatures and stacks like this. And blue gremlin is going to then go after this Knight of Westlock, getting 1 damage. It is tough. As I was saying with Knight of Westlock, it is tough to kill him. His defenses and armor equal a ton of power. And Pjotri here is going to cast Leather Pants. Not choosing to help his gremlin friend, just getting the pants up, making sure it happens. And interesting here, we see the advancement of both the Knight of Westlock and the Paladin. Notice how this Gorgon Archer is here. And there's only 1 zone away for these two. I'm guessing we're going to see a challenge here against the Gorgon. And he's going to try to do some damage to it from his Paladin. Which means that Pjotri's Wizard is most likely safe. Let's go over that Gorgon kill really quick. So, sorry, my cat is here. Gorgon Archer, 16 mana. Was it worth it? Now, granted, some of that mana, I think it was 6 mana, was generated from opponents, things like that, and this mana shard. There was a 6 mana cast in order to get him to the zone from teleport. And then there was an additional 3 mana cast from Flying Sidekick. All right. So all around he spent, let's see, 1 and then 5 spellbook points versus the 4 from Gorgon Archer. And it was 9 mana versus 16 mana. But again, some of that was off the spawn point. And he got a week out of it. I would say it was a pretty even trade in terms of how it looks raw. But did it give him an advantage? I think Pjotri is really hoping for more weeks there. I mean, obviously more damage. But I will say that it allowed him to get rid of both of Knabbmaster's Bear Strength and Wolf Furies. And, you know, we're looking at basically a 4-die blank Paladin here that has Magebane. And that's interesting. And, you know, as I was saying a few turns ago, at turn 6, 7, around there, we'll start seeing Pjotri's economy start to take off. Notice Knabbmaster's at 14. Pjotri's at 12. We have the Gorgon Archer versus, I would say, the Knight of Westlock, I'd say, level-wise. Blue Gremlin, Aaron. I mean, I guess it's not really quite equal. Ballista here probably gives the edge to Knabbmaster. Did Knabbmaster succeed in his timing attack to gain enough an advantage to sort of keep the advantage over Pjotri? I guess we're going to see in the next round or two. It is, of course, Pjotri's initiative, so we're going to see a shot come out of this Gorgon Archer. I'm guessing at the Paladin, right? because when you're challenged, you want to try and make him roll less dice. I'm curious to see what he does here. And with 12 mana, 3 on your gate, do you keep casting creatures? I would love to see some sort of support for this Gorgon. But, what do you have in school necessarily to do that? It'll be very interesting to watch. Let's see, are we all planned up here? Looks like they're still planning. I'm going to skip a little bit. Kind of talked a lot about just thoughts about the game, not necessarily saying what's right or wrong about it. Knabbmaster did pay the 2 upkeeps. That actually puts him at 12. So evening out the points here, but there's a Gate of Volteria out. And a Mana Shard. So that does kind of equal some interesting things. Keep in mind there is a Battleforge, but there's an Essence Drain. So, Pjotri clearly has the advantage when it comes to the economy. Jade Gremlin comes out. Very cheap creature. So that means Nab is probably planning something. Or not Nab. Pjotri is probably planning something with his mana. You cast Jade Gremlin. One, because it's great against defenses against Knight of Westlock. Because it's at a guaranteed defense. But 2, because you want to do things with your mana here. Dancing Scimitar comes out for Knabbmaster. So action stacking here is very strong. Ballista Shot into Dancing Scimitar, into Quick Cast, into full action. You can kind of kill almost any creature you want with that combo. And Knabbmaster really knows how to plays those flying sidekick plays and things like that. So I'm guessing he's going for I want to control it on my mage's turn on what happens in this battlefield. Looks like Pjotri is going to enchant Knabbmaster's mage with something. These are all just free enchants on him. No nullifies needed to go through. This might actually be a nullify on Knabbmaster. Because it is meta magic and he'd gain the Arcane Ring bonus. And again, we're going to see that Gorgon Archer go after that Paladin. That was the call we were talking about. Wants to get those weeks so the challenge does less damage. Gets no weeks, but gets 5 damage through. Very strong hit. Putting Knabbmaster at 12 out of 36. We have the 1/3 damage. That is when the flags need to start coming up of you need to start regenning, things like that. We're going to see Aaron move in. He is going to attack this Blue Gremlin. Probably the only thing he can do. Blue Gremlin is going to defend. Rolling a 10 in his defense. Very strong. That was just the best option you could do there. He doesn't necessarily want to target the Blue Gremlin right now, but he wanted to hit it. I think his true target is going to be this Gorgon. Blue Gremlin goes in. Knight of Westlock's gonna roll defense, maybe. Probably should. Does not roll a defense. Attempts to though, and Blue Gremlin's gonna roll 1 damage. Expected damage, putting this Knight of Westlock up to 7 out of 10. And this is where I'd like to see some unavoidable lightning attacks here. Because it's 7 out of 10, 3 armor. You probably would get it, is my guess. It's a little iffy, but it's worth trying, in my opinion. But let's see what he does with his 9 mana left. He used 1 for an enchantment. Knabbmaster's thinking. He's not sure, I think, what to do with his knight. Knight's going to attack the Blue Gremlin. 4 die, no defense, 1 armor. He's going to get 2 damage. A little bit under. So it's 2 out of 7 now on this Blue Gremlin. I have a purring cat on my lap. Enjoying my talking, I'm sure. Okay, Nemesis Wizard's going to go. And we are going to see a Pillar of Righteous Flame. Love this move. And what is it going to attack? I'm guessing Knight of Westlock. Yep, Knight of Westlock gets targeted. 4 die attack. 3 armor. It is going to roll 4 damage. 5 total. That is a dead Knight of Westlock. Wow. And gets a burn as well. I mean, Pillar of Righteous Flame, just an insanely valuable card. We've seen matches where it does over, I think it was 50-something dice, something like that. If you haven't looked at why there's an errata, there's tons of reasons out there. It looks like Knabbmaster is going to attempt to attack. Knabbmaster is going to attempt to enchant his Paladin. It gets jinxed out again. A meta magic play. Knabbmaster paying one less. I'm sorry. Pjotri playing one less because of Arcane Ring, and it was a Bear Strength. This is public knowledge. So Bear Strength was getting casted from Knabbmaster, and it has been jinxed. I guess you don't actually know. I guess you're not actually supposed to know what it is. So I wonder if it's because this is Knabbmaster's replay. We see that it's a Bear Strength, but I'm pretty sure Pjotri actually doesn't know that was a Bear Strength. But I mean, you can assume it was probably a Regrowth or Bear Strength, is my guess. It looks like Paladin's just going to attempt to attack this blue gremlin. It has no defenses. It's going to get 2 damage. Not moving in the Gorgon Archer zone. Interesting. Okay. Dancing Scimitar then going in 3 die. No damage being rolled. Expected 2. Little unfortunate there. Especially when you have to pay upkeep on this Dancing Scimitar. You're like, really? It's seriously happening this way? Okay, I guess so. Pretty action-packed there. Losing that Knight of Westlock is a little brutal. I suppose it did take a lot of damage. And I mean, it cast one of these pillar hits. It took a Gorgon hit. And then it took a ton of just little gremlin claws at it. So overall, I'd say it probably was worth it. I'd say. Pillar Righteous Flame, it was going to attack Aaron. It gets 1 damage. No burn at all. Little unfortunate on the roll there. Expected 2 damage. But just got 1. And we're going to the top of round 8. 8 here. It is going to be Knabbmaster's initiative. Ballista is fully loaded. Ready to go after something. Notice this Gorgon Archer's at full life. We have a Jade Gremlin and a Blue Gremlin ready to go. And the question is, do you leave this pillar zone? If you leave and, Pjotri has a teleport or a force push or something, it's a little risky there. I kind of wish Pjotri would have finished him off with an unavoidable lightning attack or just a lightning jolt after his defense was down. Just because it would have been a cheap way to do that and you would have gotten another pillar hit in someone else, but it's not the end of the world. It's just trying to maximize your efficiency of like your lower level attack spells. But we don't actually know if Pjotri even has lightning spells in his book. Pjotri saying I can't even gate summon. Knabbmaster saying you jinxed it. Love it. Knabbmaster has 16 mana. I don't think he's paid the upkeep. Yeah, he has. He's paid the upkeep. 16 mana. Upkeep has been paid for this Aaron. And Pjotri had 11 mana. But I think one of the telling signs here, 12 out of 36, 0 out of 32. And it's still anyone's game. I mean, honestly. I mean, it's a lot of equipment on Knabbmaster right now. And with something like Meltdown in the game, it's a little scary seeing so much leather. Would Pjotri take a Meltdown? It's out of school. I don't actually know. But, right around when you're at 6 equipment, that's when you start going, I would consider casting this. Where it starts to be effective. And Pjotri, of course, he might just try to keep jinxing the Paladin out. It's definitely a really good play for wizards that just want to keep tempo. When you think you're winning a match, you just keep jinxing because it just keeps taking away their advantages or what they have to make a comeback by. Let's go and just speed this up a little bit. You know what? No, I'll predict this really quick. I'm guessing we're going to see out of this Battleforge a either armor or regrowth belt. I doubt we'll see a weapon. And then we're not going to see any deployment, obviously, here. The 3 spells, probably some sort of movement spell with the pillar. My guess is a Jinx, and then maybe a Dissolve or a Dispel. If it's not Jinx, it's going to be Dissolve, Dispel. If it is Jinx, it's going to be a Dissolve. I'm sorry. If it is Jinx, Dispel or Disperse. If it's not Jinx... Wow. I'm so sorry. I just totally... Just kept talking. Okay, he's either going to take Jinx, Dispel, or Disperse. Because we know he has a Bear Strength. Last round we saw that. The other one's probably going to be a movement spell of some kind, is my guess. Just so we can keep guys in the pillar. And then the last spell is probably going to be... I don't know. Maybe some sort of acid ball or something. And this is actually a pretty cool move here. Knabbmaster casting Morningstar. Very typical to see in War Mages. The unavoidable 4-die attack. He wants to take out this blue gremlin. I'm guessing he doesn't want to move out of the zone. Although he might want to just kill this jade gremlin. And it's going to be rolling 5 dice. Unavoidable. Pretty good. Wizard's going to immediately enchant the Paladin. Probably a Jinx. Although I think Nab would probably want to cast Bear Strength before the Jinx was on. So may not be as useful here. Quick Cast does get casted. There is a spell here. It is going to go through. Jinx gets revealed. No Bear Strength for you. Of course, that Arcane Ring giving a little bit more advantage every round for Pjotri. Very strong play again. And just to note, Mage Bane does not resolve, so there is no damage because you canceled the spell. We're going to see this Paladin move down. He's going to attack the Jade. Probably attack Jade Gremlin. Oh no, attacking the Gorgon Archer. Very interesting play here. 5 dice going at him. Challenge reroll. Getting 8 damage and a reroll. Holy cow. 7 going through. That was insane on 5 dice. And another one. 8 damage total. Holy cow. I did not expect that. that was a lot of damage. 8 damage going through. I guess with challenge you do have to kind of expect it to be a little bit higher. But, I mean, that was just a fresh roll there. Ballista coming in, 5 more dice coming in, 1 armor. That doesn't even matter. Getting 6 damage on that 5 dice. No luck at all for Pjotri. That is a dead Gorgon. Didn't even get a second chance to shoot. Knabbmaster has to feel super good about that because that is almost just a win right there. That puts Pjotri on a huge back foot now. And I'm curious to see how he's going to make up for it. Gremlin's going to attack Aaron. This makes sense. He wants to take out all the other creatures. 3 dice getting rolled, 4 normal getting through, piercing 1 on 2 armor, so 3 damage total. Putting Aaron at 14 out of 15. And it is Aaron's turn here. Does Aaron move out of the zone? I mean, you kind of want to, right? You want to force your opponent to use that movement. Although I guess an argument for not moving out would be you don't want to have him use it on the Paladin. So you're like making Pjotri be like, do I actually want to waste this or not? Yeah, Master's thinking about it. Can you feel the suspense of Knabbmaster thinking? Yeah, and he's going to move out. Very interesting play. He's going to go after this Mana Shard. 5 dice, 1 armor. Hits 4 damage. That's all he needed. An expected roll. It was all crit, which is nice. That is going to take care of the Gate of Altari. Getting that extra channel. And, you know, with the Paladin swinging every round, that's going to add up to a only every other turn cast. That's kind of a big deal. And it is going to be a teleport out of Pjotri's wizard. Wanting to go after this Aaron. Getting that pillar, getting another attack in. Here comes the 4 dice. 2 armor, 2 damage going through, no burns. Did Gremlin saying I'm on a little piece of that action. He's going to use his 2 die fists, getting 1 damage through, putting Aaron up at 7 out of 15. And he's going to choose to roll the last attack. He wants to roll that last attack just to see if there's a burn or not. Rolls 4 dice, gets 6 damage out of that. 4 damage actually going through because of the 2 armor, but no burn. So unfortunate there. And it looks like Aaron's going to be at 11 out of 15. Very interesting there. So using a 3 mana teleport, that upkeep 2 is paying off, but having to use teleport spells and things like that, that does, slowly kind of get rid of some of that lead you had there. And of course, Pillar Righteous Flame, 2 attacks out of it. That's another 4.5 mana, basically, used towards trying to kill Aaron. The fact that it's not dead means that it basically has done nothing right now. In terms of, like, changing the board state. I suppose it does change in some ways, such as Knabbmaster needing to use another Martyr if he wants, maybe another Regrowth. He might just let Aaron die because he doesn't want to keep paying upkeep. Not that necessarily the upkeep is really hurting Knabbmaster a lot. Him killing that second Gorgon, that might actually just be the game right there. I'm not sure yet. As you see, we have no bar to refer to. Knabbmaster's at 20 mana here. Again, that Essence Drain has been getting him a lead, Pjotri, but he's been melee attacking Knabbmaster, his Paladin. So he has more mana right now, and Pjotri's at 17. He should be at higher mana counts, but he's just been losing so much and spending so much mana just to make things happen that it's just sort of evening out in that sort of respects right now. And I do want to point out that Knabbmaster also has a major equipment lead. Having things like leather, having gauntlets, having a weapon out is huge. So very interesting here for Pjotri and how he wants to deal with this sort of equipment lead here. And I do want to point out that these Morningstar makes the Paladin unavoidable attacks, which means these gremlins might die. Do you cast another gremlin out of this gate, knowing that he has a counter to it? Really curious to see what Pjotri has in plan. Now, I do want to point out that is Pjotri's initiative. So his wizard could move down and then just dissolve this Morningstar, which wouldn't be a bad plan, honestly. Because it means your gremlins might live. And it makes Knabbmaster have to choose to either, during his planning phase, now that's a possibility, have a second Morningstar or have some sort of way to go through the defenses, whether Surging Wave or something like that. Whether or not you want to waste mana on that is super debatable. But yeah, that's kind of some of the options here. Knabbmaster at that 20 mana. Notice he is outside of his Battleforge's range too. He wants to get armor on, is my guess. He wants something for his second hand slot, but it's not really that big of a deal that he doesn't have it this round. But it means that we won't see some sort of guard shenanigans with armor. Notably the Holy Armor, letting you guard for 2 mana. So that means this could be a dead Aaron this round. And, honestly, like, with Pjotri, it only has 4 life left. It's your initiative. It might actually be worth it just to spend the mana to kill this guy that's dealing 5 dice around. Okay, deployment. Pjotri has a Gargoyle Sentry coming out. 3 off the gate, 8 mana off his supply, leaving Pjotri at 9 mana here. It is still Lightning Bolt. Gargoyle Sentry is a super good defensive creature. And then Pjotri is going to immediately cast a Tanglevine on the Paladin. I dig this play. It means that his gremlins are safe here. This Aaron's going to have to move down 1. And we're going to see this blue gremlin attack the Aaron. 1 damage going through, putting Aaron at 12. My guess is Aaron's going to move down here. Aaron moves down one. And is going to attack that Tangle Vine. Yeah, he wants to free that Tangle Vine. Oh, this is such a harsh play when you're Knabbmaster. 4 damage going to that Tangle Vine because now you have to waste all your melee just casually attacking this. My guess is he's going to melee it. Although he's going to cast a creature and then Dancing Scimitar this Tangle Vine is my guess. But let's see what this Gremlin does. If the Gremlin moves down, he'll probably actually just melee attack the Gremlin. Whether or not it's a good idea, I don't know. Gremlin moves down, attacks Aaron, gets 1. Putting Aaron at 13 out of 15. Almost dead. Now, honestly, I said he'd probably attack the Gremlin. I think he's going to cast a creature here. Nope, he's going to attack the Jade Gremlin. Okay. Interesting. It's an unavoidable attack, so that is a dead Jade Gremlin. I mean, they're 4 mana. It's not that hard to kill, 5 life, so not a big deal. Dancing Scimitar is going to attack this Tangle Vine. Rolls 3 dice, gets 5 damage. That is a dead Tangle Vine. But, I mean, it soaked up 2 hits for 5 mana. You know, think about when you think about attacks like block or reverse attack or things like that that cancel attacks. This is kind of like what it did. It took 2 attacks from Aaron and the Paladin and turned that 5 mana, 2 spellbook points for the wizard into basically a defensive maneuver. I really dig that. And then Pjotri's going to follow it up by enchanting the Paladin with some sort of spell. That's why we didn't see a cast come out. There was a Crusade banner getting placed. I am a huge fan. Major props to Knabbmaster for this. I love seeing this late banner play. Spawn points, of course, traditionally, you place them in the corner or you place them a little thing. If you're Jaktara, you're super aggressive with it. But usually in the first 2 turns. The fact that he places this Crusade banner, it's now turn 10, is, in my opinion, a way to use it. You're not sitting there trying to get the channel back in the corner, then having 2 creatures and moving forward. You're instead saying, I'm going to save up mana by using my melee attacks. He's at 24 mana, 2 on this Crusade banner. Now I'm going to get my reinforcements. It's going to be 2 heavy hitters. My guess is 2 heavy hitters. But you could do a lot of things, honestly. You could see 2 White Cloak Knights, or you could see Messenger of Bimshalaz, so you could get 2 flying holy attacks that also heal your mage when you're at 13 out of 36 damage. There's a lot of things, but the fact is getting 2 creatures as reinforcements is extremely useful mid-battle when you're sort of needing those reinforcements. This all kind of plays really well into the way Knabbmaster's playing. Remember I was talking earlier about it, like, he's probably going to want to hit a timing attack. Crusade Banner here helps with that timing attack because it gives you that extra spurt to sort of, like, jump your power up a little bit. Let's talk about Pjotri here really quick. Pjotri has a gargoyle, has a gremlin. It's not his initiative. There is a ballista ready to shoot as well. Not to mention this 2 creatures coming out. He needs to kill this Aaron. And my guess is Knabbmaster's hoping he spends as much mana as possible because he needs to make up the mana he lost with Essence Drain. He did pay 2 mana for that Essence Drain, and he's probably hoping that he spends an attack spell. Which an attack spell isn't that bad. Ideally, you have this blue gremlin come in and just hit him. But my guess is that the Paladin is just going to Morningstar this blue gremlin to death. We haven't seen a challenge go down. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this blue gremlin get challenged. Oh no, he's going to challenge the gargoyle. Interesting. He might still attack this blue gremlin. This challenge on the gargoyle might just be a, if you guard, I want to get through your armor kind of play. But regardless, if he doesn't go after the blue gremlin, I think that blue gremlin should absolutely hit Aaron. Of course, in my example, he rolls, let's see, what is it? 5 dice? 5 dice and re-rolls? Yeah, that's a dead gremlin for sure. So yeah, what else do you do here? This ballista seems like it's just uncontested now. It's kind of interesting to think about. I actually might think this divine challenge might be a ploy to make Pjotri think he's not going to attack this gremlin. By Knabbmaster moving up, he's in range of his Battle Forge, so he can get more spells out of here. And I'm guessing he's going to look to get this sort of thing. So I'm guessing turn 1 we're going to see, or during the action phase, Paladin move up, kill the blue gremlin. Then we're going to see Ballista shoot this Gargoyle Sentry. Get 4 damage on it. And then the Sentry has to decide, does he land? Does he move over land? Does he try to kill Aaron? Tough choices. And I'm so sorry I went over that, because I did not want to see that either. Let's just go ahead and skip so he deploys. Okay, Guardian Angel coming out. And a Knight of the Red Helm. Very cool creature. Knight of the Red Helm, of course, being one of the favored level 2 creatures. 3 armor, 8 life is pretty insane. Usually you see it over, Dawnbreaker Defenders or White-Click Knights. Just because this guy's a little bit more hardy. And it looks like Pjotri is going to pay 2 mana. Enchant the Paladin with something. Like seeing these 2 Guardian Angels to keep his mage alive. Knight of the Red Helm is to do damage. Guardian Angel, by the way, probably the best level 3 creature in the game. Used to be Brutes, I would say. But Guardian Angel is probably the best one now. It has actually the perfect defensive options here. Of having, remember how I mentioned the 3, have 2. Armor, defense, and Aegis. All go together insanely well. Only thing you need is regen, you're good. Anyway, we are going to see that Paladin move up 1. We're going to see that unavoidable attack go here. And we're going to see a reveal here. Nope. It is just going to be a straight overhead smash. This blue gremlin does go down. And this Ballista is going to shoot the Sentry. Oh, yeah. Should deal 4 damage. And it's gonna roll 5 dice and deal 7 damage. This is very rapidly rolling out of Pjotri's hands here. These dice rolls insanely good. Knabbmaster's taking that initiative and just running away with the damage there. At this point in time, it's a little scary. You have the Paladin at 13 out of 36, but he's going to start healing now that he has this creature advantage. And Pjotri's turn here. Gargoyle's going to attempt to take out this Aaron. Makes a lot of sense to do this. 3 dice getting rolled. And he is going to take out Aaron. Goodbye to that Essence Drain. Honestly, this Essence Drain, I think, did a lot of work. Mana-wise. I think there are debates you can make if it's actually a spell you should use at all. But I do like seeing it in this example because it did a lot of damage economy-wise. We're around 10. Wizard's gonna move to the left one, cast an elemental wand. Okay, here we go. Elemental wand and not having your quick cast is a daring move. That makes me think this is a jinx here, and this is a nullify. He feels really safe casting this and just saying, come on and dissolve it. If you have a jinx and a nullify, there's no way he's going to get around it. I guess you could consider crumbling, but you'd have to force push for that. There's a lot of other things to do. Paladin is going to enchant himself with something. There is no jinx revealed. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. We go to the next round. No jinx. So he has... The wizard has the Magebane. Right? Magebane. And 2 other spells, not jinx. Not nullify or jinx. Poison Blood. Maybe, and a Rust. That would be my 2 guesses. I guess there could be like an Enfeeble, but that'd be so expensive for a wizard. All right, round 11. It is Pjotri's initiative here. Knight of the Red Helm here. Probably looking at this Gargoyle Sentry, saying if you ever land, I'm going to beat your face in with a 5-die attack. In the meantime, Guardian Angel, probably looking at this 1-die flying creature with 7 life left and saying, I could probably take you. You just got to move in, deal a little damage, and have Ballista finish it off next round. So either way, this Gargoyle Sentry is in just kind of a tight spot for survivability. And, I don't actually take Gargoyle Sentry in my Wizards anymore, just because I've noticed it's very easy to lose control. When you just don't have the board state. That being said, I'm not sure if this 11 mana, if there would have been a better creature choice at the time. It's really rough to say. That being said, we did see the Morningstar come out, and if you notice, the gremlins stopped popping out. I'm going to say that, and he's going to cast another gremlin, but, there aren't a lot of other arcane creatures you necessarily want right now. So in some weird ways, this gate is kind of a detriment. And I was wrong about the armor. Instead of the Paladin armor, we're going to see the Harshforged Plate armor. War Mage only. Very cool. It's going to, of course, he's been enchanting him this whole time. So this is a great spell to say, stop jinxing me. Just straight up. Bear Strength is going to get discarded. At the start of the round, Seeking Dispel, Meta Magic Spell. Arcane Ring, of course, discounting that. Getting rid of another Bear Strength. Again, looking at this, 1 spellbook point, 1 mana versus 2 mana. Well, I guess 1 because of the Enchanter's Ring. But 2 spellbook points. That really does give a nice little edge for Pjotri to sort of gain a lead. Not having Bear Strength is so valuable. Especially for a a Paladin that can challenge things. Keeping his dice count low, really trying to control that. Pjotri's really good at just saying, I have versed Paladins before, and they're gonna mess me up. Love this play up with the Gargoyle Sentry. It does make him safe from these 2 creatures for right now. There is going to be a defense attempt out of Dancing Scimitar, which is going to succeed. Which, I mean, it would have been a 3-die Stone Fist attack, so, there's 5 armor here, so probably wouldn't have done that much. I'm going to see Guardian Angel move to the left, or move up, and then guard. That is to protect the Paladin. But there is going to be a Thunderbolt going down. 6-die attack. Range 3, only need 2. 6 dice getting rolled. 2 damage going through, and a daze. A little unfortunate not getting the stun there. Thunderbolt was an interesting choice. I would have loved to have seen Hawkeye Lightning Ring with this. Just because 10 mana for 6 die, it's super low. Interesting that you do Thunderbolt. Not Lightning Bolt. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt, of course, being a really powerful finisher spell. It's like the kind of like the boulder for the wizard. Or wizard. For like the warlord. Although I would have loved to have seen a boulder on this wand, not a Thunderbolt in general. If you're not going to Hawkeye and you're not going to Lightning Ring, you need boulders as a wizard, in my opinion, anyway. And Paladin's going to just literally build a temple right in the wizard's face and then proceed to heal himself from this temple, taking that Mage Bane damage and then healing that Mage Bane from the Hand of Bim. Knight of Red Hill is going to move to, hindering this wizard. Smart play. And then attempt to enchant the wizard, and it's going to be a nullify, and then Knabbmaster also had a nullify. It was a nullify to nullify to nullify, and that was pretty much that. And notice he did that nullify at the end of the actions. It's going to be Knabbmaster's initiative next round. My guess is we're going to see a Rust go down. Quick cast, a Rust onto Pjotri's Mage. Is my guess. He probably wants to start dealing at least 3 dice around to him. Most likely. Not to mention the Dancing Scimitar dealing additional 3. This is looking like it's going to be a wizard being attacked. And I do want to point out that this Guardian Angel is guarding. So the intercept is going to block this Thunderbolt. I, you know, I love Thunderbolt, but it's just not the right time. I mean, he has the tempered folds for the reroll, and he has 5 armor. You know, this the 6-die attack just it's not going to be a useful 10 mana right now. I would have loved to have seen like acid balls or I was saying horror boulders, just straight damage, you know, things like that for less mana. But regardless, moving on. Let's talk about planning here. Pjotri might actually have another Gorgon Archer. And that would actually be problematic for Knabbmaster, being so far away. The challenge being on Gargoyle Sentry means he can't place it on this guy, so he'd probably have to try to kill Gargoyle Sentry this round. And we should go past upkeep. Gonna go past upkeep? There we go. Yeah, so there being 2 on this ballista, I'm guessing we're going to see the shot go on the Gargoyle Sentry. It's not going to kill it, but Guardian Angel might actually kill him then. I could see more gremlins, but that's just because you don't have anything else to cast out of this Gate of Volturi. That's my guess with this gate. Pjotry's at 15 mana. This wand is not going to cast again. I think Knabbmaster also nullified. I said the Rust, but as another alternative, he's just going to cast Dissolve. Just get rid of this wand. That is my guess. Okay, we do see another Blue Gremlin. My guess is that Pjotri wants something out because he has mana. Spends 1 on his own supply. It's pretty good here. I mean, the challenge not being around, it's going to take 2 hits to kill this gremlin from unavoidable. So, you know, that sort of thing. Dissolve going out on Knabbmaster. I was saying Rust, but Dissolve does make a lot of sense here. Honestly, in some ways, I'm like, let him use the wand. That 6-die attack isn't scary. Like, nothing has lightning plus. Honestly, like, if he wants to use it, I don't see why not. Maybe because there's that half death here, 18 out of 36 damage. That's he just doesn't want more damage on, which does make sense too. All right, Gargoyle Sentry is going to be attacked by this ballista. It's going to deal 3 damage, 1 under, but that's okay. Sentry's going to be at 10 out of 14 now. Mage Bane gets targeted, disperse, getting casted. This Mage Bane is going to go away. He's going to take a damage from that. Knabbmaster is going to heal Knabbmaster's Paladin, putting it back to 18 after the Bimshala heal. And just to talk about Bimshala really quick. It is an amazing spell. Level 1, 5 mana. It can take more than just 1 hit, usually 2 or 3. But I mean, the ability to heal 1 that isn't regeneration, the ability to get melee 1 or armor 1, all good options. It's just an amazing card. Just use it in almost every book because it is just good. Some players like to cast the healing spring to drink from it and stuff like that. I actually think Hand of Bimshala in a lot of ways is just better than healing spring. Gargoyle Sentry is going to move up 1 and guard. Interesting, because he is the strongest creature. That means the Knight of Red Helm does get the melee too. Meaning he'll be at a 5-die against 4 armor. Notably, he's would unhinder the wizard. Why would he want to do that? But this is a little bit dangerous to make the Gargoyle Sentry a bait here. That being said, Knight of Red Helm is just going to guard. Okay. I did not expect him to guard with that. I would think you'd want to hit the wizard, but I guess not. Dissolve getting cast on this Harsh Forge Plate, and of course that means the Harsh Forge Plate does trigger the extra 2, so 10 mana. A little bit of an economy advantage there for Knabbmaster, getting that 2 extra mana there. And then Pjotri's going to enchant his mage with something. My guess is another nullify. And Guardian just going to guard. Who won that round? Knabbmaster got rid of Magebane for basically net because of Hand of Bim. We got a free bolt shot on Gargoyle Sentry, and now we have an active gremlin. And we got rid of the, when I say we, Knabbmaster, got rid of the elemental wand. But now Pjotri's enchanted and has enchanted you twice. Interesting. There's definitely a lot of still a lot of scoping out on what your opponent's doing right now in this match. There's a really weird enchantment game that Pjotri's playing that's really well done with his wizard here. Notice we haven't seen any fast or time dilation plays yet. It's very interesting to me. All right, so we are at round 13. It is Pjotri's initiative. My guess is we're going to see another armor come out of this Battleforge here. Although Nebus is at 12 mana. Yeah, I'd say he probably has more armor. Pjotri has 13 mana. This is most likely, it's either a Jade Gremlin or it's a Bluff, is my guess. Yeah, I was interested why he guarded here. He could have gotten some free damage on this wizard here. Or he could have gotten the 5-die attack against the Gargoyle Sentry. Which, I mean, 4 armor, you're probably not going to kill it. But at the same time, it's like, he's only going to deal 3 dice back in your 3 armor. Maybe because it has such low life, he just didn't want to attack it. That's my guess. Alright, we're going to skip ahead of this planning. Alright. Another blue gremlin coming out. I thought he had 4, my bad. And we see the holy armor come out, the radiant breastplate. 6 mana for you can pay 2 mana to get a guard after your action. And 2 armor. Really cool armor for holy mages. Especially because they do tend to like to heal up and have passive stuff. So the ability to use your action to heal and then guard after, very good. The last blue gremlin coming out. Right, 1, 2, yep, all 4 on the field or dead. And Straywood Scout coming out of Wizard. This is straight up like 2019, 2020 plays here. Straywood Scout notably having the infinite range, just has to target something. And that target has a +1 attack die for the next attack from each friendly creature. And notably the quick range attack, which is pretty good. That is interesting to do that because you want your gremlins to hit things for more damage, is most likely why you do that. This scout might just like die immediately. He's pretty good at timing hits, scouts, but I mean, really, he's so frail. I'm curious to see what he actually does. Guardian Angel is going to advance 1 in guard. My guess is we're going to see the Paladin move 1 in guard. Or not guard, but move 1 and cast something. That being said, we have a Gargoyle or Gremlin move. Pjotri's thinking about it. Maybe uses quick. All right, Blue Gremlin is going to get fast here. Move up to this guy, this Paladin. Attack him with claws. He's got tons of armor. It is piercing 1, of course, but it shouldn't matter. It looks like Dancing Scimitar is going to succeed in the defense again. Very nice in that Dancing Scimitar play. Love it. I just wanted to point out really quick. Blue Gremlin has the, he paid 1 mana to get the teleport. You could actually pay 1 mana and get charge 1 for Blue Gremlin. He doesn't have the teleport action, but time dilation would have been, well, I guess it would have cost you an action, so, probably not. Never mind. I guess he has plans for that quick cast, so he didn't do it. Anyway, Overhead Bash, 5 dice. Getting 5 through because of the 1 armor. Holy cow. Expected 4 there, but that's fine. But anyway, that is how you sort of save mana. You know, instead of melee attacking, you go like, this guy now needs to move 2. So instead of like doing a melee attack to save mana, you use your quick cast to sort of spend 1 instead of something more expensive. It's kind of cool of a play. Gargoyle Sentry is going to move down a 1. We have a Guardian Angel guarding and a Gargoyle Sentry guarding as well. That being said, Knight of the Red Helm is going to go after the Straightwood Scout. Very smart play here. 3 dice, 0 armor. Getting 3 damage through. It's just, it dies so quick. It's very tough to have him do anything. Like, he's really good when he's, like, in the back as, like, this weird economy play of just buffing. Like, kind of like a Mark for Death, but it's mobile, and you can only use it on his action. And a Bimshell is going to heal that Paladin. Heals him down to 17 out of 36. We're away from the half damage warning. And it looks like it is going to be quick cast. Pjotri is not going to use his quick cast, saving the 3 mana for something. And let's see what Knabbmaster does. My guess is he has enchantments he's waiting to reveal. He's going to target enchantment, saying this one. Seeking a spell on it. Could be cantrip. Hoodwink. No, it's a Rust. Very nice pick here. Rust is such a good pick. So both spending two spell points and 2 mana. Little unfortunate for Pjotri because you usually don't take a lot of Rusts. And that's going to be the end of the round. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to fast forward through their upkeep. Cool, just wanted to make sure we got that. And it is now going to be round 14. Knabbmaster's initiative here. 2 load tokens on this ballista. We have an almost dead blue gremlin. Another fresh blue gremlin ready to charge in. The guarding zone. They're guarding on opposite sides of this field. Just kind of cross arms. I imagine. You know, one of them sort of, giving some rude hand gestures to the other one. That sort of thing. That's what I imagine is happening here. Knight of the Red Helm probably wants to go for the scout. Since it is Knabbmaster's initiative, he'll probably get it. And then he'll probably shoot, my guess is, this Gargoyle Sentry. He's going to try to casually take out all these targets. And I'm guessing his Paladin's going to kill this blue gremlin, and this other one's going to try to move in. This is sort of a diminishing game for Pjotri. I don't see how Pjotri's getting an edge in any of these rounds. He's sort of winning the initiative game. But it's just so far stacked against him right now. It's tough to say how he's going to come back. Will Knabbmaster plan and equipment? It could be some sort of wand, I guess. Maybe he just wants to start healing himself with minor heals, just because he's, like, trying. Notice there is still an enchantment, so he probably doesn't want to risk that yet. So my guess is a nullify or something to try and catch this enchantment from Pjotri so that it can have openings for healing himself. Now, if he did want to play something bold, I'd love to see like a Messenger of Bimshala come out. So he gets some healing casually. And also, it kind of ekes out if there's any sort of other stuff. Oh, yeah, okay, that's the play. I would love for Knabbmaster to cast a Regrowth Belt here. We've had the casual healing from Hand of Bim. So maybe if this was a poison... Oh. Okay. Poison Blood gets revealed. Very interesting to do that. He's doing that during the deployment phase so that Knabbmaster can't actually heal himself. Um, just in case Knabbmaster had another Seeking. I was going to say cast Regrowth Belt out of this just to eke out this Poison Blood. I do like the Hand of Bimshala casually healing because if it forces a Poison Blood reveal, you basically have paid nothing and now you know their hand, as opposed to countering a whole heal or something like that. Both players are going to skip on their quick. Is going to be the Paladin's initiative. He's going to take his action. Nope. I'm guessing he should kill the blue gremlin, try and kill the gargoyle sentry, and then he'll do something else. The blue gremlin does get attacked with the overhead smash, unavoidable, killing that blue gremlin. And then he's going to choose to go on guard with his radiant breastplate. So the paladin is guarding for 2 mana. And then, yes, this ballista is going to attack the gargoyle sentry. Rolls 5 dice, but there is some armor there. The armor fails, and the gargoyle sentry is dead. Pretty good maneuvers here. And then we're going to see the Knight of Red Helm probably kill the scout. Scout's going to use his action here. Oh, he's going to... Ooh. Daring. He's going to use the scout marker on the paladin. That being said, Knight of Red Helm is going after the scout and just completely obliterates that scout with his Warhammer. But I do want to note that this scout token does remain on until the end of the round. This is sort of Knabbmaster, or I'm sorry, Pjotri's time to deal damage. He doesn't have a rust on him, but he is at 17 out of 36. So I would honestly wonder if this is Pjotri's time to just try and just kill the opponent. Because it's slipping away so fast. Mark for Death does get revealed. This could be a +2 from this guy, piercing 1. So 5 dice. Dancing Scimitar rolls a 12 to avoid. Oh my god, that Dancing Scimitar is ridiculous. The counterattack, the overhead bash, rolling 6 damage, unavoidable. The blue gremlin at 6 out of 10, or 6 out of 7 damage. Holy crap! And then just casually, the guardian angel comes back, guards, and that means that Pjotri can't use any attack spells or anything to hit this paladin. That being said, he only has 4 mana, so we're just gonna say like, screw this. I'm punching the Hand of Bim. That's it. For 2 damage out of 5. Every round, Nab is getting a small edge. I mean, I guess that was a bigger round because he killed both the scout and the gargoyle sentry. And I want to say the MVP here, this Dancing Scimitar, getting that defense 3 times out of 3. Like, Nab should probably be around 20 to 23 damage right now. But he just has been avoiding all those hits. I don't know if there's much more to talk about here. We're going to go into the next round. It's going to be Pjotri's initiative. I mean, this Knight of the Red Helm, he's about to be rolling 5 dice against his wizard. My guess is that this gargoyle, or this blue gremlin is going to try to hit the paladin. Pjotri's just going to kill this blue gremlin. Then we're just going to see a 5 dice Red Helm against 2 armor. And then we might see the Guardian Angel go in, but mostly he'll just guard. It'll just be a sort of casual damage match here. And I'm thinking Knabbmaster's just going to ramp up that damage. Probably take him out in the next, like, 3 turns. That's my guess. I'm not sure if there's much Pjotri can do, other than just wail. Knabbmaster has 24 mana. Pjotri has 15. We might see creatures come out. I was talking about Messenger of Bimshala shells earlier. Those are really good because you can get healing. And I guess if Nab wanted to play it super safe, he purify or remove curses this poison blood. And then gets Messenger of Bims or heals, and just lets his creatures kind of do the work. Um, God, there's just not much that Pjotri can do right now. Let's just skip to the next round. Let's see what happens. Calling the beer back. That's fine. Times 25. Go. All right, we do see the Satyr Grove come out. This is the creature that every wizard known to man wants to make work. It is especially good with the Sistarra wizard getting that charge and +1 and fast rate. It's pretty cool. That being said, it's so tough. You take like Giant Growth with it, hoping it gets better, but it's just so expensive to cast. Anyway, Knight of the Red Helm. Blue Gremlin's going to attack Knight of the Red Helm. Okay, rolling 3 dice. It does have piercing 1. Gets all crit on 3s. 3 damage out of 8 for that Knight. I like that play as opposed to just suiciding him. Knight of Red Helm's going to counterattack. Not counterattack, just attack. It looks like there's going to be a defense roll. That Blue Gremlin does roll 12 in the defense. So a little free hit there out of the Blue Gremlin. Love seeing that play. Love seeing that play. Guardian Angel's going to then guard. And we are all looking at this wizard now. How are you going to pull this off, man? Moves over to the right. He's going to punch that Knight of the Red Helm. Doesn't like that red. It's too bright. Gets 3 damage out of it. 5 out of 8 now. Is he going to roll an attack spell? He's at 10 mana. Does not choose to use this quick. That being said, it's the Paladin's turn. We're going to see a Roof Curse. Roof Curse does go down. He's going to pay 5 mana. Oh, he pays 11 mana. There goes the Mark for Death as well. 2 mana coming back. That is a huge round. And are we going to see a heal here? Knabbmaster for 14 mana. I don't like how he gave him a chance. Because he already has a chance to cast something. Poison Blood. Pjotri cast nothing. Regrowth. If he's enchanting, it's going to be a regrowth. Because he just wants to casually heal now. Notice this, the minute that Poison Blood goes away, Hand of Bim starts healing. And there's the regrowth. Very classic maneuver here. Regrowth. Just being, you think Minor Heal is a 1 mana, or 1 spell point 5 mana cost. You usually get about 5 healing out of that. On average, regrowth, I would say, heals about 10, 14 damage. So, of course, it's just insanely valuable. Very cool play there. And it looks like it is going to be round 16 here. Knabbmaster does have the initiative. Ballista is loaded up. There is a Knight of the Red Helm waiting to attack something. He probably does not want to verse this Blue Gremlin. Just because that innate defense will probably work. Knowing him, and he'll just attack back for 3 damage. That's kind of how Blue Gremlins work. We do have the Satyr Grove here. So it is possible we could see a time dilation and then a charge in. But most likely with this Guardian Angel here is just move casually and attack something. Paladin, what do? You're at 15 damage out of 36. I see no reason not to move in and start attacking. I suppose he could cast more creatures from the back as a safe play. Knight of Westlocks. Again, Messenger of Bims to get the healing with creatures. All those good options. At this point, even if he did a Elemental Wand Boulder play and just lobbed boulders from across the field, I think that's very viable as well. He's got the regrowth. He's so safe right now with all that armor. Not to mention the Tempered Folds reroll, and he has the melee defense. There's so many things that Knabbmaster has going on right for him right now. I'm gonna go ahead and just skip until there we go, and there's the heal. Healing going down to the Paladin. This is just going to wipe away so much damage. It's like the reverse attack spell. Love it. Rolling 11 healing on 8 dice. Holy cow. Put him down to 4 damage. And this game is over. I just don't see how Pjotri can make a comeback. That's so demoralizing as a wizard. Blue Gremlin getting hit. Blue Gremlin fails to defend itself, getting that 2 damage. Blue Gremlin dies. Yeah, it's a slow march of death. That being said, Hannah Bim is then going to heal the Knight of Westlock, or Knight of Redhelm 1. Bliss is going to attack Satyr Gruff. Rolls 5 dice, gets 4 damage. It's a little bit unfortunate, but almost at half damage for that Gruff. It's going to be Pjotri's turn. Pjotri's going to concede. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was over as well. I mean, honestly, like, looking at this Elemental 1 Thunderbolt, man, I would have loved to have seen it being a rock, an acid ball, like something just to complicate it more. You know, make him use the neutralizing mist. You know, because it cancels. You probably dealt a little damage, but you also made him spend mana to cancel out that whole thing. That's definitely not why he lost. Is because of this. But it just, I felt like the economy just shifted so much in favor of Knabbmaster because that 10 mana, you're paying for range 3 basically, and if you're not using range 3 with that, it's just brutal, honestly. Um, would not have guessed that. Yeah, trying to get passive healing. Would not have guessed that much counter magic left. Yeah, because Knabbmaster played how much counter magic do you play? Remove curse, seeking, disperse, dissolve, nullify. I guess there wasn't as much as I thought there'd be. That being said, let's talk about that game really quick. Mana Crystal, of course, really paying off here for both ends. Arcane Ring, I would say, throughout the game, actually did more than I usually see with Arcane Ring. Usually, I think that Arcane Ring is a little bit of a noob trap because a lot of players cast crystals in the beginning and then just forget about the ring. So oftentimes, as a spell point thing, it's a disadvantage because you're spending that one you could be using in something else. But I have to say, like, applause to Pjotri for casting things like the jinxes, the nullifies. I mean, the essence drain. He got a lot of advantage out of that, and I think, the seeking spells. I think there's just a lot of discussion over exactly how spells like essence drain or trying to get mana advantage works, and that is you need to get over that point where it starts becoming advantageous for you. And Knabbmaster's Ballista and getting some of those early hits really just put him out ahead. I think honestly, like, Pjotri not dissolving this Morningstar at all meant that all of his gremlins, which were his damage points, he had 4 of them out. Like, they're supposed to deal that little bits of damage to give you the edge, so you can finish them off with an attack spell. Like, allowing Knabbmaster to keep the Morningstar out really nullified 5 creatures that we saw on the field itself. Instead of taking out the Bear Strength, I would have actually preferred to have seen the Morningstar get taken out. There is, of course, other things like, more dissolves would have been nice, but I don't think that's necessarily important. I would have loved to have seen things like Acid Balls more. His Rust got countered. That is a little unfortunate. And we did sort of try to see some comebacks with Mark for Death and stuff like that. I think instead of Mark for Death, honestly, I actually think this is a bad spell against an opponent because every mage runs Remove Curse. It's just kind of a standard right now. And Mark for Death is going to get removed cursed, especially when you stack it with Poison Blood and Rust. I would have loved to see Mark for Death go against, like, the Knight of Westlock or Aaron, something like that, so that he could just get that little advantage over there and doesn't make Knabbmaster be more tempted to remove curse. And I guess I just would have loved to, it's just such an interesting play here, right? Because he had all these creatures out, and I would have loved to have seen that Mark for Death earlier, just in general. I'm going back to this point, just because of all these dice that he could have rolled that just would have rolled one higher. If he was going to go lightning or thunderbolt, I actually would have loved to have seen this against other creatures earlier. Like Knight of Westlock, right? He would have taken 8 dice. He would have already used his defense against like a gremlin. But I mean, you're paying 10 mana versus the 13. But if you take it out of the game that early, it's hard for the Paladin to make a comeback. And when someone's making a timing push like Knabbmaster is, you have to stop them and blunt them at the spot. And the fact that his creatures lived a bit longer and his ballista lived forever meant that Knabbmaster just kept snowballing his advantage. And, you know, Pjotri casting things like Jinx, he really needs to do that when he has the advantage. So, like, really, like, just hear me out here. Swapping the idea of a Thunderbolt's light wand with the late game Jinx, swap those two ideas. Spend your mana earlier, which is harder because you're playing a mana denial, just so you can take out his timing. Because obviously he wasn't weathering the storm really well. This is, by the way, why a lot of wizards also cast walls and things like that, because they try to just get a more advantage by funneling stuff. It works with varying degrees, but you know, just kind of some food for thought. I don't know. I'm not saying what I'm saying is right. I'm just kind of like saying like you really have to match his damage output with as much economy as you can in that moment, and then let your economy gain you the advantage in the long run. I can't see Pjotri's book, so I'm not going to comment what he has, but Arc Lightning would have been very useful here. I find Arc Lightning to be insanely good when it comes to stuns, for one, but 2 against Knight of Westlock. You know, not seeing lightning rings. I mean, basically, in a lot of ways, you're seeing this wizard not use attacks at all. You're seeing him just try to control with jinxes and stuff, and then letting creatures get the advantage. But I mean, when you have only level 2 creatures and the Gorgons, you know, you really got to make sure that they're the ones dealing damage. They're actually doing it. I don't know. If you have more thoughts, anyone, feel free to comment on this YouTube video. But that's kind of just some thinking I had here. Very well played from Knabbmaster. This is an excellent example of just a good Paladin. Hitting a timing push, using that Crusade banner at the right times, and then that late game Guardian Angel support sort of idea. Just really, really clean. It just felt like a really clean Paladin. I was a little afraid of his damage, but I guess it doesn't really matter. But yeah. So I guess we do have all the games now, I think, up until the championship match. So I would love to see Knabbmaster, and if you haven't seen the other video, I won't announce it. It's Jason Grage versus Keegan. You got to watch that to know who's going to be. But I would love to see the championship match casted live. I do know that it's going to be all European matches. So if that means I have to wake up at like 2 a.m., I am interested in doing that. But we don't have a date yet. If we can't do it live, we can't do it live, but I'd love to see it. But if you are someone watching this YouTube and you love this game and you're really interested and want to play these players, I do have a link in the YouTube video towards our Discord. So feel free to come join our Discord. It's absolutely free to join. This game on Octagon is absolutely free to play. All the rules, things like that, free to get. So feel free to join the community. We are all very friendly people. You can even play these players you're seeing on the screen right now. You could even play me. It's a very fun game. So thank you everyone for joining. I'm Koshade, and I will see you in the championship match. Enjoy.